And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
If that was in '63, he was 1 month later in Dallas.
Throughout time, people have often said that a picture can tell 1,000 stories, but that is not always true. Recently, attempts have been made to uncover the hidden tales behind some of the famous photos. These images don't just speak 1,000 words, they whisper secrets, reveal mysteries, and even raise more questions than they answer. What narratives and shocking events could be concealed within these photographs? Join us as we look into 20 of the most terrifying photos that hide unexplainable secrets behind them. Number 20, photograph that defies history. In 2010, a peculiar photograph surfaced from 1941, taken during the reopening of the South Fork Bridge in Goldbridge, British Columbia, Canada. The photo shows a man dressed in a dark suit, a white shirt, a knitted sweater, and sunglasses. What's puzzling is that his attire looks completely out of place for the 1940s era. It appears more modern. Moreover, he seems to be holding a camera, a device that was far ahead of its time for that period. The man's clothing and the camera he holds raised eyebrows and sparked debates among people and scientists alike. Some argued that his attire and the camera were available during the 1940s, suggesting he might not be a time traveler, but simply an unusual dresser. However, others found it hard to believe that such modern-looking clothing and technology could exist in that era. Efforts were made to uncover more information about the man in the photograph. People searched historical records, hoping to find clues about his identity and any potential connections to time travel. Despite these efforts, the true explanation behind the man's appearance remains unknown. However, amidst speculations, many questions remain unanswered. Was the man in the photograph truly a time traveler, a peculiar dresser, or simply a trick of the eye? The mystery lingers, adding to the allure of the unknown and leaving us to ponder the possibilities of what might lie beyond the confines of time. Number 19. Mysterious Babushka Lady. In 1963, a picture of a woman emerged, wrapped in mystery and wearing a headscarf, earning the puzzling title of the Babushka Lady. She became connected with one of the biggest events of the time, the killing of U.S. President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, in the busy city of Dallas, Texas. Wearing glasses and a headscarf, this interesting person was seen several times during the chaos of that important day. People saw her holding a camera, maybe taking pictures or videos of the unfolding tragedy. But even though she is noticeable, her true identity is still hidden, and what's on her camera's film is still a fascinating secret. In a famous photo, she stands calmly between Elm and Main streets, with the big Dallas County building behind her. From there, she had a clear view of the presidential motorcade as it drove through the city's streets. Just after the loud shots broke the peace of the day, she walked down Elm Street, blending in with the crowd heading towards the grassy knoll, a place some suspect was where the shots came from. With each step, the granny lady moved away from the scene, walking east along Elm Street. Despite the FBI and others trying hard to find her, she escaped their grasp, disappearing into the shadows. Even though the authorities asked the public for any information about her, they didn't find much. Number 18. Legendary Bigfoot footage. In 1967, Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin went on an adventure to find evidence of Bigfoot in the wilds of Bluff Creek, California. They hoped to uncover the mystery of this creature. What they captured on film that day was extraordinary, a fuzzy but captivating 59.5-second clip. In the footage, a gigantic ape-like figure strides confidently through the forest. Its massive body is draped in dark fur, and it turns its head to stare directly at the camera, almost as if it knows it's being watched. Then it vanishes into the thick underbrush, leaving behind a trail of questions and controversy. For decades, people have debated the authenticity of this film. Patterson, the filmmaker, swore it was a real encounter with Bigfoot, a once-in-a-lifetime event caught on camera. But skeptics have raised doubts, suggesting it could be a cleverly staged hoax, perhaps with a person in a convincing costume. Many attempts have been made to scientifically analyzed the film, studying the creature's size, proportions, and movements. Some experts argue that the figure's appearance and behavior match those of an unknown primate, adding weight to the possibility of its authenticity. However, others point out the lack of clarity in the footage, making it difficult to draw any definitive conclusions. Despite the controversy, countless eyewitnesses claim to have seen Bigfoot, adding to the allure and mystery surrounding this creature. Number 17. NASA's puzzling Nazca lines. In a special photo captured by NASA along the sunny shoreline of Peru lies a vast desert marked with breathtaking designs. These designs are not just any ordinary doodles, they are intricate patterns resembling geometric shapes, animals, and plants. What makes them even more astonishing is that they were crafted nearly 2,000 years ago. Scientists have been scratching their heads over this for years. Some say these lines and figures are like cosmic maps, aligning perfectly with celestial events like the movements of the sun, moon, and stars during solstices and equinoxes. Others argue that they hold religious significance, possibly serving as symbols or rituals related to the beliefs and practices of the ancient Nazca people. Perhaps they worshipped nature, revered their ancestors, or paid homage to their gods through these designs. Some bold thinkers have suggested that they were meant to communicate with beings from other realms, aliens or spirits perhaps. Despite all these theories, the true purpose of these lines and designs remains shrouded in mystery. No single explanation seems to capture the full essence of their existence. How they were designed with such precision and artistry, using only the tools and knowledge available at the time, it's a puzzle that continues to baffle archaeologists, historians, and curious minds alike. Number 16. Floating white pants. In this photograph, there's a creature that resembles a pair of walking white pants with no visible upper body or head. They move slowly and quietly, usually seen at night, gliding across the ground as if they're floating. The first time they were caught on camera was back in 2007 in Fresno, California. A man set up a security camera in his garage to figure out what was causing his dogs to bark every night. To his astonishment, he discovered two peculiar figures strolling across his lawn. The man shared the footage with a paranormal investigator and a local TV station in hopes of unraveling the mystery. Then, in 2011, another sighting occurred in Yosemite National Park, also in California. This time, the creatures were observed wandering amidst the trees in the darkness. The footage gained attention and was featured on a TV show called Fact or Faked Paranormal Files. A team of experts attempted to replicate the phenomenon using various methods but failed. The origin and identity of these creatures, known as the Fresno Nightcrawlers, remain shrouded in mystery. Some speculate they could be extraterrestrial beings, while others believe they might be spiritual entities. There are even theories connecting them to Native American legends and folklore. Despite numerous speculations, no concrete evidence or explanation has emerged to validate their existence. Number 15. Spectacular Eusapia Palladio's photo. The unexplainable 1920 photo has gained fame for capturing what appears to be a woman named Eusapia Palladino floating a table during a spiritual session. This intriguing moment was captured by a French physician back in 1898 in Paris. Eusapia Palladino, an Italian medium, claimed to possess the extraordinary ability to communicate with the spirits of the deceased and perform various physical feats such as moving objects, summoning apparitions, and suspending tables. The physician who snapped the famous photo asserted that it was taken under strict control conditions. He claimed that Palladino's hands and feet were firmly held by two assistants throughout the session, ensuring she had no opportunity to manipulate the table. According to him, the table rose into the air without any physical contact from Palladino, and he insisted that the photo remained untampered with. Moreover, the physician reported witnessing other extraordinary phenomena during the gathering, including the sudden appearance of a shining hand and a ghostly face changing into cement. Despite the photographer's assurances, the authenticity of the photo has been met with skepticism and criticism from various quarters. Critics have pointed out several differences, such as the unnatural position of Palladino's body in the image, the absence of shadows beneath the suspended table, and the potential presence of concealed wires or supports. Number 14. The iconic Eiffel Tower. In the fascinating picture taken in 1887, we see Gustav Eiffel's famous masterpiece. This tall structure, a sign of human cleverness, is made of 4 tall metal poles, bending gracefully inward to meet at the top, creating a grand pyramid-like shape. Holding this amazing building together are flat beams and angled supports, carefully arranged to make a grid-like pattern, giving the tower both firmness and power. What's surprising is that only 300 people built this towering thing in just 2 years. Standing at 984 feet tall, it was the tallest thing in the world when it was finished. How they managed to do it so quickly and precisely with only the limited tools they had back then is hard to understand. Some people think maybe aliens helped build the tower by giving humans the knowledge and tools to make it centuries ago. Others think the 300 people who built it had some kind of amazing, otherworldly abilities that let them do the impossible in such a short time. But even with all the ideas out there, no one knows for sure how the Eiffel Tower was built. It's still a mystery waiting to be figured out. Number 13. Freaky creature from ancient cave. In the mid-1990s, a disturbing discovery scared explorers in a cave in Ras Al Khaimah. It all started with a tourist who, while taking a photo, accidentally captured something spooky hiding in the cave shadows. Soon after, a terrifying scream broke the silence, frightening everyone. Worried and shaken by this scary encounter, the tourists quickly informed the authorities. The cave was filled with police officers eager to solve the mystery behind the frightening photo. As they searched through the darkness, they felt afraid. Then, in the dark, they found a dead person hidden deep in the cave. It was a human body, unmoving and quiet. The discovery shocked the community, making everyone wonder what secrets were hidden in the cave. Meanwhile, the photo of the strange creature taken by the tourist became popular, capturing the interest of people worldwide. But even as the image became famous, the truth behind it remained unclear, covered in uncertainty. Number 12. The mysterious figure of Jim Templeton's photograph. A figure appears in a photo snapped on May 23, 1964 by Jim Templeton, who was not only a fireman, but also a skilled photographer and a well-known local historian. This photo caused quite a stir as it was deemed authentic by both the police and forensic experts, ruling out any possibility of tampering. It quickly became the talk of the town, featured in documentaries, TV shows, and news channels, sparking various theories and speculations. One theory, proposed by UFO author David Clarke, suggests that the figure in question might be Templeton's wife, Annie. According to this theory, Annie was wearing a pale blue dress and had dark bobbed hair, blending into the background of the photo. Clarke speculates that Templeton might not have noticed her presence when he took the picture, and the dress appears white due to overexposure. He further argues that when the image is adjusted by darkening and rotating it, the figure resembles a normal person viewed from behind. However, there are other interpretations of the photograph. Some believe it could be linked to a reported UFO sighting during a failed missile launch in Australia. Despite these theories, none have been definitively proven, leaving the mystery unsolved to this day. Number 11. Controversial Times Square photo. The picture from the 1920s, showing a cop hanging from a beam above Times Square in New York City, is quite controversial. Nobody knows for sure who took the photo or who the police officer is. Many people have different ideas about what's going on in the picture. Some folks think the photo is genuine and captures a brave stunt performed by either a cop or a pilot. They point to similar stunts done by actors like Harold Lloyd or Buster Keaton during the silent film era as evidence. These stunts involved risky situations, so it's possible that the cop in the photo was attempting something similar. However, others argue that the photo is fake. They suggest that it might have been staged or manipulated using props like a backdrop, a net, or some editing tricks. The mysterious photographer adds to the doubts by not being identified, raising questions about the picture's authenticity. Despite the debates, the photo remains intriguing. Whether real or staged, the image captures a moment of excitement and intrigue in the heart of one of the world's most famous landmarks. Number 10. Ghostly photograph that defies explanation. In 1919, a group of Royal Air Force pilots known as the G Squadron posed for a photo that has since sparked widespread intrigue and debate. The story behind this photograph is both unusual and fascinating. The picture appears to show a ghostly figure, believed by many to be that of Freddie Jackson, a fellow pilot who had tragically died just a few days before the photo was taken. This scary image of Freddie Jackson standing among his living comrades has captured the imagination of many people over the years. The G Squadron photograph has since become famous among enthusiasts of the supernatural and aviation history. Some people believe that the photo is genuine evidence of a ghost. They argue that Freddie Jackson, unaware of his death, was simply trying to be part of the group photo with his friends. Others, however, are skeptical of the ghostly explanation. Some suggest that the photo might have been manipulated as a prank by the pilots, who perhaps wanted to lighten the somber mood after Freddie's death. Another explanation offered is that the image might be a result of pareidolia, a psychological phenomenon where the brain sees familiar patterns like faces in random objects or images. Despite these various theories, the mystery of the G Squadron photograph remains unsolved. Number 9. Haunting tale behind mysterious 1950 family photo. In 1950, an unusual photograph appeared that continues to confuse and fascinate many to this day. The picture shows a dark shape seemingly falling or hanging upside down from the ceiling in the background of a family photo. The woman in the front, named John Cooper, later confirmed that no such shape was present when the picture was taken. Interestingly, the shape only became visible after the film was developed, adding a spooky element to the mystery. At first glance, the looks on the faces of the family members, especially the children, are strikingly scared, suggesting that something unsettling was indeed in the room. Some believe it was a trick or joke, made using early forms of photo editing or digital editing methods. Critics of the ghost idea argue that the shape is too clear and detailed to be a ghost. They suggest that it looks like a cutout from another photograph, possibly showing a dancer or an acrobat. This idea suggests that someone might have placed the shape onto the family photo to create a spooky effect. On the other hand, some believe that the shape might have a more ordinary explanation. They suggest that it could be an object or person accidentally caught in the shot. Despite the many ideas, no one has been able to give a clear explanation for the mysterious shape in the photograph. Number 8. Decoding the mystery of the 1911 airship photograph. The 1911 airship photograph is a fascinating and confusing artifact that continues to baffle historians and researchers. The photo shows an airship with a design that seems far ahead of its time, sparking intense debates and numerous theories about its origin. This airship, captured in a single, striking image, has a look that doesn't match any known designs from that era or any time before or after, making it a true mystery. One of the most intriguing aspects of this photograph is the technological advancement of the airship. For 1911, the design appears extraordinarily advanced, suggesting capabilities that shouldn't have been possible at that time. Some people believe it could be the invention of a brilliant but unknown scientist. Others suggest that the photograph might be a clever hoax. They argue that it could have been the work of someone with excellent skills in photography or early image manipulation, trying to create a sensation. Despite these claims, detailed examinations of the photo have not revealed any signs of tampering. The image appears to be genuine, which only deepens the mystery. Adding to the puzzle is the fact that no known photographer has ever been linked to the image. Despite all the research and debate, no one has yet been able to provide a definitive answer about the 1911 airship photograph. Number 7. Decoding the secrets of the Black Knight satellite. The Black Knight satellite is an incredible object that has sparked numerous conspiracy theories over the years. Some people believe it is an ancient alien spacecraft that has been orbiting Earth for thousands of years. According to these theories, NASA is supposedly hiding the truth about this satellite's existence and origin. These conspiracy enthusiasts suggest that the space agency, along with other governmental organizations, might be involved in a cover-up to keep the public from discovering the reality about aliens and UFOs. On the other hand, some individuals argue that the Black Knight satellite is a sham created by NASA or other agencies to divert attention from the truth about extraterrestrial life. Another popular theory claims that the Black Knight satellite is not an alien artifact at all, but rather a secret spy satellite launched during the Cold War. Proponents of this theory argue that either the Soviet Union or the United States launched this satellite to monitor Earth and gather intelligence. However, the photo that sparked all these theories tells a different story. Taken by NASA during the STS-88 mission in 1998, the image shows what many conspiracy theorists claim to be the Black Knight satellite. In reality, NASA identified this object as a piece of space debris, a thermal blanket that was accidentally lost during the mission. Despite NASA's explanation, the story of the Black Knight satellite continues to captivate imaginations around the world. Number 6. Strange lights on the lunar surface. During the Apollo 14 mission to the Moon, astronauts encountered a puzzling phenomenon that remains unexplained: strange lights on the lunar surface. This occurrence has fascinated scientists and space enthusiasts alike, as it hasn't been fully explained by scientific research. A particularly intriguing photograph from the mission shows an unknown blue light far off in the distance. Various theories have been suggested to explain these unusual lights. One popular theory suggests that the blue light might have been caused by a reflection of sunlight off the lunar module or a thermal blanket that was lost during the mission. However, this explanation doesn't address several crucial questions. Why did the light seem to move or change shape? Why was it not observed during other missions to the Moon? These gaps in the theory leave much to be desired. Another set of explanations revolves around the possibility of electrostatic discharge or plasma phenomena occurring on the Moon's surface. In space, plasma and electrostatic effects can create visible light under certain conditions. However, even these theories do not fully account for the specifics of what the Apollo 14 crew saw. The blue light seen in the Apollo 14 mission remains one of the many mysteries of space exploration. Despite the numerous theories and ideas proposed by scientists, none have definitively explained the phenomenon. Number 5. The Hessdalen Light. A photo surfaced showing something fascinating in Norway's sky, the Hessdalen Lights. These lights are not regular. Sometimes they stay in the sky for a long time, interesting watches, while other times they disappear quickly. What's interesting is they come in different colors. They can be white, yellow, red, blue, or green. Not only that, but they also can change shape and size, making them even more mysterious. These lights were first sighted in the 1930s. However, it wasn't until the 1980s that they began to appear with greater frequency, drawing crowds of intrigued onlookers and sparking countless theories to explain their origins. One idea is that these lights might be reflections from sunlight or moonlight, but locals have their own story. They think these lights come from burning dust in the air, a result of mining activities in the area. This dust, with elements like hydrogen, oxygen, and titanium, can catch fire on its own, making bright displays in the night sky. Sometimes, these burning elements form balls of fire or wisps of smoke that move gracefully above. For those interested in aliens, The Hessdalen lights might be even more exciting. Some people think these glowing things could be signals from outer space. They imagine that the moon might have secrets we can't understand yet. Number 4. The Martian spherules. In late 2012, NASA's Mars exploration rover Opportunity captured an intriguing image. It showed numerous large spherical objects scattered across the Martian landscape. These spheres, believed to be made of hematite, hint at a possible history of water on Mars. However, scientists remain uncertain about their true nature. These spherical formations are larger and more abundant than the previously discovered hematite-rich blueberries on Mars. Scientists speculate that they could be concretions, formed in a different manner than the blueberries, possibly due to a different type of water or mineral presence. One theory, proposed by the University of Western Ontario, suggests that these spheres might be impactites. Impactites form when rocks melt and then solidify during meteorite impacts. However, none of the theories proposed thus far provide a complete explanation. The spheres of Mars remain a puzzle awaiting further investigation and analysis. To delve deeper into this mystery, scientists need to conduct additional research and gather more data. Understanding the origin and composition of these spherical formations could provide crucial insights into Mars's geological history and the potential for past water activity on the planet. Exploring the Martian surface and analyzing these formations could unlock valuable information about the planet's past environments and the possibility of sustaining life. Number 3. The legendary sea monster of Hook Island's Great Barrier Reef. The big sea monster at Hook Island has been a puzzling mystery for many years, interesting scientists and fans since it was first seen in 1964. This unusual water creature was first seen by Robert Lark and his wife while they were taking photos of the beautiful underwater scene near Hook Island in Australia's Great Barrier Reef. While enjoying the ocean's beauty, the Larks suddenly saw a huge and peculiar creature smoothly swimming deep down. They took several pictures of the creature, showing a long, snake-like shape with clear bumps disappearing below the water. These photographs caused a lot of talk among people who study hidden animals and doubters alike. Some said it might be a new type of huge sea animal, while others thought it might be a sea snake no one had seen before. When the pictures got attention, lots of ideas came up, from it being a surviving dinosaur to something from ancient times. Even with all the talking and ideas, no one knows for sure what the Hook Island sea monster is. Is it an old sea creature that scientists haven't found yet, or is it just something people made up? Until there's real proof, the mystery of the Hook Island sea monster will keep grabbing the interest of people who want to explore the waters near Hook Island. Number 2. Ghost in a selfie. In Lancashire, England, a young person snapped a picture of himself, called a selfie, and posted it online. Little did they know this simple action would cause a stir on the internet. But then, unexpectedly, his grandma sent him a message saying there was something odd in the photo. She thought she saw a ghostly figure in the background. Interested, Niall looked at the picture again and noticed something odd too. To the right of Niall in the photo, there seemed to be a peculiar grey shape. It looked like a wispy cloud, with some parts catching the light from the window. But what got everyone's attention was the idea that it resembled the smiling face of an old man. According to the family, their house has a history of strange things happening. Since they moved in, they've experienced all sorts of spooky events. But Niall's experience took the fear to a whole new level. One night, he woke up to see a ghostly figure standing in the corner of his room. The figure made a scary noise, sending shivers down Niall's back. Naturally, Niall yelled for help, and his dad came running in. But even his dad saw the frightening, shadowy figure. It seemed to disappear and reappear, confusing their senses. Number 1. The mysterious seance photograph of Eva Carrière. In 1912, during a gathering called a séance, a photograph was snapped. This photograph is quite remarkable as it appears to capture something extraordinary happening. In the picture, you can see a streak of light that seems to materialize between the hands of a woman, Marthe Barrault, also known as Eva Carrière, and a strange blob of ectoplasm hovering over her head. Eva was deeply involved in the spiritualist movement, which was all the rage in the early 20th century. She firmly believed that she had the power to communicate with spirits from the afterlife. For her, phenomena like ectoplasm and beams of light were clear indicators that ghosts were present in the room during her spiritual sessions. Eva's activities attracted the attention of some big names of her time, including Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, and Harry Houdini, the famous magician. Doyle was convinced that Eva's spirit meetings were genuine and that she possessed a true connection with the spirit world. On the other hand, Houdini, known for his skepticism and expertise in exposing fraudulent mediums, suspected Eva of being a fraud. He suspected that her performances were nothing more than clever tricks. Which of these terrifying photos did you find the most intriguing? Let us know your answer in the comments section. And if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Which of these terrifying photos did you find the most intriguing? Let us know your answer in the comments section. And if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.